Winston Churchill once said, "Attitude is a little thing that makes a big difference." Hello everyone, and welcome to Blind Beauty. I'm Jennifer. What I am going to do today is I am going to show you how to French braid your own hair. French braiding can be very intimidating if you don't know what you're doing. And you might think, oh, it looks pretty on somebody else, or oh, that sounds pretty. But how do I do it? So I'm going to take you through what I typically will do whenever I'm trying to French braid my hair. Now, I have what I consider medium length layered hair. Now, that's my opinion. In the YouTube beauty community, my hair is considered short. It's about shoulder length. So, but it is layered, layers all throughout pretty much. So that's what I am working with. That's the type of hairstyle I am working with. So that's the look, or that's the style that this will actually work on. You might not think it will, but it will. And I'm going to show you how I do mine and what products I use, give tips and tricks along the way, as well as talk you through how to actually do it. And how to fix some problems along the way. Because I know I love to French braid my hair. Now, especially the last couple weeks I have. But, you know, or the last week, not couple weeks, but last week or so I have. But there are problems that arise. So let's go ahead and jump on in and get started. First thing I like to do is I wash my hair really good, and while it's still wet, because I like to have that crimpy look to my hair anyway. It doesn't bother me. I actually like the style. So French braiding my hair will allow me to have that style. But in order to do that, there are certain things that I need to put in my hair to keep that style and to keep the braid in place as well. So that's what I'm going to talk you through. Now, I put my hair up in a turby twist and literally took it down. It's practically tangle free right now. But, you know, we're still going to brush it here in a moment. But one thing you want to do first, in my opinion, is put in some sort of a texturizing spray. This just helps add a little bit of grit, a little bit of texture to your hair. And I tend to do this before I do my mousse. Anytime I do a texturizing spray, I tend to do it before I do a mousse or a hairspray or something like that. So I'm going to take this and just lightly spritz it all over my hair. Now, if you have, well, not lightly, I guess, because I have thicker hair, but if you have really fine hair, then I would say you could even do this whenever it's dry. And I lift my hair up and then just spritz a couple pumps is what I do. A texturizing spray will help it to hold a little bit better. This actually works really good even on dirty hair where it's not freshly washed. You know, mine is, I like that, you know, it works for me because I do have really thick hair. Now, if you do have fine hair or whatever, I would say go for second day hair before, you know, and just dampen it. You don't have to have it wet like mine is right now, but just dampen it. You know, and that will still give you a little bit of curl to it, or at least help the braid to hold a little better. That's my experience, and I'm just taking a brush and brushing through it. This is typically a no-no with wet hair, is a brush, but I still do it. I would say another option is to use a wide tooth comb of some kind. So, and then I'm going to take some mousse. This is the Salon Selective's Intense Volume Extra Firm, or All Day Extra Firm Mousse. You can find this usually at the Dollar Tree. And I put a pretty decent size amount, about a golf ball size, I guess, amount in my hand. And then I just, mainly I'm focusing this more on the ends of the hair, or on the length of the hair rather than right at the root. I don't have to worry about it at the root as much. And I'm just fluffing this through a little bit. And then I'm going to brush this through, that way it's evenly distributed. That is a trick whenever you do use a mousse or a spray of any kind. Evenly distribute it by brushing it through. Okay. Do that. Now, I'm brushing my hair straight back. So, and I am going to be pretty zoomed in whenever I turn around. So, but I brush it straight back, including my sides, by the way. I don't leave my sides down. Brush it straight back like you're going to put it in a ponytail, is what I think of. Now, if you like to leave your bangs out or something like that, that's okay too. You can do that. But me, I just prefer to pull it all back. Now, this is what I'm going to do, just a basic French braid. We're not doing anything fancy. We're not doing anything like that. It's just a basic French braid today. Now, you can start it as high as you want to or as low as you want to. So I'm going to turn around and we'll do that. But first, before I do, I want to show you the items that I will be possibly using, or that I will be using at least. One is some sort of a small elastic. Right here, these, I believe I got these from the Dollar Tree. If not, you can get them, no, I might have gotten these from Walmart even. But these are some colored ones. I thought a colored one would work. You can use clear elastics. Those work great too. So, and then the other thing you might want is some bobby pins. So I'm going to turn around and let's get started doing this. Alright, now I don't typically use a mirror whenever I'm doing my hair like this. Honestly, I sit in my living room most of the time. And I just kind of finger comb it, making sure everything is smoothed out. You know, all that. Now, it doesn't have to be flat to your head like mine is, but I do have thick hair. You can tease it if you want to. You can even do this while it's dry if you want to. And then I'm starting right about the temples, like where my eyebrow ends, basically. And I'm going straight back. And it's right there at the crown of my head, pretty much, is where this is. And I pull all the excess down. Now, I don't typically use an extra brush for this, but if you really wanted it to be sleek French braid, you could sit there and every time you pull a section, brush everything else down. But I don't do that. I do it like this. So, I get it like in a half pony. I mean, you can tell this is a pretty big half pony. Now, you can do a smaller one, a higher one, whatever. But you take this, make sure it's smoothed out a little bit. You can finger comb it, basically. You can tell it's fairly smooth, and the rest of my hair is too. You split it into 3 sections. 1, 2, and 3. Now, right there, that's my 3 sections. Alright? Now, what I typically will do is I hold them all in one hand at first. And then I'm going to take my left hand and I'm going to go over the middle section. And then I've got it, I pulled the middle section to my left hand as well as I went over. Now I've got 1 strand in my right hand. I take that and I go back over the new middle section. And the tighter you pull it, sometimes the more it will stay. However, you can do it a little looser and have a more messy type look. Because with the texturizing spray, as well as the mousse, it does allow it to stay even though you're not doing it as tight. Now then, you take another section. You can make it as big of a section or as small of a section as you want. With my hair being layered like it is, I take smaller sections. So I'm taking about like that, and I just run my finger through a little section, trying to make it somewhat straight, and I pull that into that left section. That is why holding all 3 in one hand does help whenever you are sectioning off the hair, because then you have one hand free to do that. Then I pull that section back into the other hand, and I do it between 2 fingers usually, because that leaves my thumb and my forefinger free to grab the middle section. I grab that middle section, take the left hand side over it, then I switch the right hand section to my other hand as well, and then I've got my right hand free. Okay? And I put my right hand section between my pinky and ring finger. Then I do the same thing. I basically just try to create it as even as possible. Now I don't go overboard and say, oh, it has to be exact same size and all that. No, I don't go that far. But you could if you wanted to. You can be as carefree or as anal as you want to be with a French braid. Okay, and I added that to that right hand section. Now we go back over the middle section just like before. And basically all you do is you keep doing this until you get to the very bottom. And whenever I do a section, I go from the complete outside, like hairline, in. So I'm going to continue doing that. So, and even if it gets a little hard to pull the hair, like say your hair gets caught between two sections, you can still fix that and move it to the other section. It does not have to be perfect. Okay? That is one thing. A French braid does not have to be perfect. Yes, it can look sleek. Yes, it can look good. But it does not have to be perfect. So, and if you have really short hair, quite a bit shorter than mine, like jaw length, you can still do a half French braid if you wanted to. So, you don't have to have long hair in order to do this. And the more layers you have, the smaller the section should be, in my opinion. So, and you can tell by feel whether you are making them even as you go. That's what my braid is looking like so far. And you want to try to keep it as much in the center of your head as possible. Now, if you're more right-handed with it, you know, it might slope to the right. You just gotta practice with it and play with it a little bit. So, I'm just taking this and continuing to braid here. So, you can tell whenever I'm getting further down, it gets harder to get just a little bit of hair. That's where you pull it into the section, and then you can make sure all the extra hair is not getting entwined in that. I mean, it's okay if it does. Like I said, it does not have to be perfect. But me, I just like for it to look as nice as it can, at least. So, and then you can tell I'm getting closer to the bottom. Now, whenever you get closer to the bottom, you can choose to go from that outside hairline, like near your ear, or you could even choose to go from the bottom if you want to. Now, me, I tend to go from the outside. But you can tell also, these little pieces are getting fairly small with my hairstyle that I have. And that is okay, because we've got our little hair ties here that I will be using. I should have gotten one out. That is one thing to do ahead of time. Get your hair tie ready. Don't pull a me and not have them ready. Now, if you really wanted to play with it, you could even do like 3 or 4 braids and then, you know, put a hair tie if your hair is really difficult to braid, or if your arms get tired. Because me having thick hair, yeah, my arms can get very, very tired. So I'm just continuing to braid, like I said. And right here I've got this little bit of hair left down here still. Now you can choose to pull that up and braid it like we've been doing, or you can choose to make it into a little ponytail even. Now I braid it in instead of leaving it there. So, and then if you do have excess hair, which I really don't, so Well, I have a couple little things here. So I do an extra little braid over and over and pull it all together there. Take your hair tie. And I prefer to use these mini rubber bands because they are a lot easier to put in with a French braid, at least in my opinion. So I tie it off. Now you have different choices here. You can leave it straight down if you want to. You can have that little fishtail looking thing there. So that's what the little tail looks like. Now what I'm going to show you how to do is I'm going to take a couple bobby pins here. I'm not going to take a whole lot of them, but I'm going to show you one thing you can do with what's left that is hanging down there. If you do have shorter hair, you can take it and push it up. And you can even if you have longer hair, you can make it into a bun. I pushed it up into the underneath the braid, and then I'm taking a couple of bobby pins right here. Now to use a bobby pin, there's a rigid side and a flat side. You want the rigid side, the one with the little bumps, to be towards the scalp. And I'm just putting those in my hair real quick. Well, not real quick, but yeah. I try to focus it towards the bottom where I push that hair up. So, and that just helps secure it a little more. Now, if this is what I would consider a more sleek French braid. And then I do another one on the opposite side and try my best at least to crisscross it. That way it holds in place. Okay, right there. Okay. Now some people may have really thin hair. Oops. I didn't angle it just right and it's not wanting to stay hidden for me. So if that's the case, you pull it back out and just go straight up, more straight up into it just to hide that end a little bit. Now you might have really thin hair and you're like, okay, that's way too tight. I don't like how that looks. It's too polished looking. That is where you take your hands and you, typically I will start up here towards the top and I'll just start lightly pulling. And I'll like hold on to a section and just pull. And with my having layered hair, it does give some volume to the top, you know, and it just adds a little something extra to it. And then I do that on the sides of the braid too. You just pull it apart a little bit. You don't have to go hog wild and pull the entire thing apart. Just lightly pull. So, that right there. Now, say you've got shorter hair, like I do, and you don't like the idea of your little sides possibly falling down, which that is possible even though I put mousse in my hair because of how layered my hair is. That is where I will take, let me show you here. I will take one side here and I will put a bobby pin in there and I start out making sure it's visible at first where it's covering the entire part of that area, but then I push it up under the hair and go ahead and push it on through, you know. And you can do this as high up or as low or whatever as you want to do. But that right there, the more bobby pins you put, especially if you crisscross them, the more likely it is to stay put and not move. Now, if you want a little extra volume, like I said, you can just pull up like so. And that adds a, whoops, but that's okay. I started pulling part of my braid apart there because my hair is so layered, but that is okay. I typically will have a little bit of a bang hanging down like this. If y'all have seen some of my videos, I do have something over to the side like this. But if you don't like that, that's something you can fix too. Like, say I went ahead and pulled quite a bit of this free, okay? You can even take your hands and really just bump it up with your hands too by pushing down and pulling forward lightly. Not a heavy push and not a heavy pull, because you don't want to pull the entire braid apart. I mean, because if you've got really thick hair like I do, it takes a little bit to do a braid like that anyway. So you don't want to ruin the work you just did. Now then, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you that with this here that I did pull out, I've got quite a bit that actually has pulled out. I can take that and still secure it. You know, pull it back just like I am putting it in the braid. But then I take a bobby pin, like so, put it in there, do what I can to hide it. That is where using a bobby pin that closely matches your natural hair color is helpful. And then once you get it in there, you can bump it a little bit too, that way. You know, you can put as many bobby pins or as few bobby pins, like I said, as you want to put. You do you. You do you. But, you know, it's whatever you want to do. Now, there are so many different looks that you can do using bobby pins, using this style. Like me, I've actually done this before. I put 2 bobby pins where it's not even hidden right there. You know, let me turn around where you can see. Now, if you have decorative bobby pins, those work even better for this method. But that does work. You can also put a little hair tie up there, like one of the little hair ties that I was using. You can do that and then bump it. And then even start your French braid with that if you want to. So there are ways to fix little problems that you might see whenever you're doing your hair like this. But I thought I would start out with this kind of tutorial. That way, other tutorials that I do might not be as intimidating or scary. Because I might do French braided pigtails. A French braided, like boho chic look. You know, French braided headband type thing. Stuff like that. So that's different ideas that once you get a French braid down, the basic French braid like I just did, you can take that and experiment. Put it on different areas of the head. Do from one side to the other. Do around the top of the head. Do from the bottom up, which I will tell you, that is not easy if you can't stand being upside down for very long. I've tried it, can't do it. Yeah, no, But, you know, and I did come to you today barefaced because I plan on doing, today's my makeup brush cleaning day, so I'm planning on doing that. And then tomorrow I'm going to try to do some kind of makeup look. I'm not sure whether it's going to be on Wet n Wild yet, or whether it's going to be like a Wet n Wild eye look, or whether it's going to be a natural, glowy, spring type look. You know, like a minimal makeup product look, more natural look. Let me know in the comments which one you would like to see, the Wet n Wild, not a basic peach, or the, you know, minimal product skin tutorial, or do you want me to do a combo of the both? Combo of the two, not combo of the both. Duh. So, but that right there is the finished product. Let me go ahead and do another twirl here to show you one last time. I'm not that great at doing twirls, y'all. But, yeah. And I hope that you enjoyed it. And let me know what kind of hairstyles you would like to see, because I'm happy to do them. You know, I'm planning on doing one where I French braid from one side to the other and then make like a, I don't know what you'd call it, but it's something that goes along the back. I've seen Millaboo do it on her hair, so that's one thing I've got planned. Who knows what else you will see, so let me know in the comments what kind of hairstyles you want to see me do, especially for spring, summer, updos, whatnot. And follow me on Blind Beauty, and if you want to really have your say about what you'd like to see, join me in the Blind Beauty support group on Facebook, because there we can talk about all things affordable beauty. So I do hope you join me there as well, and let's get to know each other, because together we can make beauty accessible. Thanks for watching, and you have a great day. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and like this video. My top 5 videos linked below are New Maybelline City Mini Palette Review and Demo, What's in My Purse, Garnier Argan Oil and Cranberry Extract Review, Get Ready With Me Easy Natural Drugstore First Video, Styling My Short Bob.